In this day and age, coloring has become quite a popular activity amongst many individuals. However, most do not know the positive psychological impacts they may have. Dr. Sterling Barfield, a psychology professor from Radford University, discusses how coloring is one of many creative activities that allow individuals the opportunity to not only become more mindful, but to seek out personal growth experiences.
There has been a study at Yale University that has found that those who engage in creative activity, those who lead a more creative lifestyle, these individuals tend to be more conscientious and also, especially as it relates to psychology, to self-care, to therapeutic activity, they tend to seek out more positive growth experiences as an individual.
Coloring is not just for the creative or artistically talented, though. Many therapists, counselors, and instructors often use this activity to help their students or patients retain focus or put their anxious feelings at ease.
In terms of the way that our brain works, it can be supportive to focus, and a lot of times in anxiety-related disorders and major depressive disorders, we see a symptom of an inability to focus. And coloring, when I worked over at the Student Counseling Center, if someone were to sit in the waiting room and engage in an adult coloring activity, this would be one way to not have a direct therapeutic intervention, but to allow them a structured task so that they can focus instead of maybe thinking about everything that I have to do, or catastrophizing is what we call it. Everything is going wrong and my world is over. We can narrow in on that activity of coloring and really allow the brain to rest.
What people tend to not realize, however, is that just participating in these creative activities or processes is not in and of itself considered therapeutic. There must also be a therapist present to lead and guide the activity.
So for the individual, they may be coloring, but unless there's a therapist present, we can't consider that an intervention, a therapeutic intervention. What we can say is that it provides something for the person who's involved in the coloring. It's a tool that they can use in their everyday lives. We can think of it like listening to music on the radio versus actually learning how to play an instrument. Adult coloring can be something like listening to music. It can provide us with an activity that will help us stress less. It'll help us relax.
In any case, the act of coloring, as well as other activities, is definitely considered a great way to obtain relief from the overwhelming situations and lives we lead. So to that we say, keep calm and color on.